It's hardly a secret that I'm a big fan of VR at this point. I've spoken about it many times and I have said that I feel like it has the potential to be huge, the next big innovation, the next big game changer if you will, if all the things line up right and it's actually successful. I have tried out the Oculus Rift Dev Kit 2, haven't had the pleasure of trying out either of the two big players in VR at the moment, but hopefully I will do eventually. But from what I have seen is really promising. And speaking of PlayStation VR, I have a rather interesting report regarding the headset, which basically says that the headset will not be just relying on the processing power of a PlayStation 4 to drive it. Now, this information, which comes from a presentation by Sony's Ram Madhavan, who spoke at the Unite 2015 developer conference, the PlayStation VR headset is going to need an external box to help deliver on its promises. Sony is calling it a PU, short for processing unit, and it will be doing a fair amount of the graphics and audio processing. Now, according to RAM, the processing unit does, quote, most of the heavy lifting when it comes to producing low latency images, and the same is also being done for audio processing, and the external unit will support 3D binaural audio. Now, this does make sense, as of course Sony have made various bold claims when it comes to the frame rate of the PlayStation VR device, making claims that the then known as Morpheus will be supporting a frame rate of 120 frames per second, which of course many people were calling into question. Now, of course, it uses a lot of tricks and a lot of techniques to actually make this possible. It's not all just down to the processing unit. There are a few other things, such as a technology called reprojection, which is helping, but I did still wonder how they were going to pull this off and still have those shiny graphics that everyone knows and loves. And it seems the processing unit is the answer. So basically you've got the PlayStation 4 doing some of the load and the unit in the device itself doing some of the load. Now, I have included the video of the conference below in the description. I suggest you give it a watch. It is about 30 minutes long, but it's very interesting. I've covered what I would call the relevant parts when it comes to the VR and the processing unit, but I still think it's worth a watch. Oh, and I will include another link in the description that kind of talks in quite a bit of detail about reprojection and what it actually is and how it works and whatnot, but a brief overview is that reprojection creates an additional frame between the first and second, so basically 60 becomes 120. That's what I was talking about when I referred to tricks and things they can use to improve performance, and of course alongside the PU. So, interesting stuff. I'm not exactly surprised by this, if I'm honest. I did wonder how they were going to be putting this off with the impressive graphics that we've seen displayed in things such as Eve Valkyrie. Now, regardless of all that, thank you very much for watching. I'd love to hear some thoughts and opinions. See you next time. Bye for now.